collapsing company, sleeping 3 hours a night, or forcing yourself into a date you never wanted. Her phone buzzed again. Another email. Another demand for answers she didn't have. She closed her eyes, resisting the urge to fling the $800 phone straight through the glass and watch it plummet to the street below. Except she couldn't afford to lose a phone right now. Not when she was about to lose everything else. The door burst open. Absolutely not. Mia didn't even breathe before launching straight into disapproval mode. I know that look. You're trying to bail. Sophia turned slowly, the designer dress hugging her perfectly like a bulletproof vest she wished she could use to shield her entire failing life. I don't know what you're talking about, she lied. Mia scoffed. Oh, please. That's your I'm going to claim food poisoning and hide under my bed for 3 days face. Sophia sighed so deeply she could feel the stress leave her body for half a second before returning tenfold. Mia, I can't do this. I can't smile at a stranger and pretend I'm normal when my company is 3 months from collapse. 200 people rely on me. 200. Mia grabbed both her arms and squeezed. And they will continue relying on you tomorrow. Tonight, you go on a date. A human date. With a human man. And you remember you're more than a walking stress migraine with legs. Sophia almost smiled. Almost. Across town, on the opposite end of the economic universe, Jake Morrison was having the same argument. Except his situation came with a tiny drill sergeant and a bossy sister on video chat. Daddy. Lily stood in front of the apartment door, feet planted wide, hands on her hips like she was about to interrogate him. You promised Aunt Emma you'd go. And Morrisons don't break promises. Jake tugged at the only tie he owned, wincing as it cut into his neck. Pumpkin, I know, but... No buts. Lily stomped once. Grown-ups need friends, too. Emma's face on the phone chimed in. She's right. You've been single for 4 years. I love you, but it's getting sad. Jake rolled his eyes. It's not sad. It's responsible. It's lonely, Emma corrected, softer. And Lily wants you to be happy. Go on 1 date. 1. I helped pick her. Lily added proudly, jumping. She's pretty and likes fashion. Jake froze. You let a 6-year-old choose my date? Her instincts are better than yours, Emma said without shame. Now go, before Lily actually pushes you out the door. She will. She would. She really would. Jake grabbed his jacket, kissed Lily's forehead, and groaned. If this is a disaster, I'm blaming both of you. 20 minutes later, Sophia's luxury SUV coughed, sputtered, screamed like a robotic dying cat, and then died entirely, coasting into a silent surrender on a dark, snowy road 3 miles from the cafe. Well, she muttered, staring up at the heavens. God, I get it. You hate me. Calling the tow company delivered the worst possible news. 2-hour wait, the voice said cheerfully. Christmas Eve, you know. She texted Mia. It's a sign. I'm going home. Mia's response arrived instantly in all caps. And oh, call an Uber. Get to the date. Do not wimp out. Sophia groaned. She was reaching for the Uber app when headlights cut through the darkness behind her. An old pickup truck rolled to a slow, cautious stop. Her brain whispered, this is how horror movies start. But the man who stepped out looked normal. Tall, broad shoulders, mid-30s. A kind face that didn't match the intimidating silhouette his shadow cast. He kept his hands visible as he approached, like someone who'd seen too many true crime documentaries. Ma'am, you okay? His voice was warm. Rough, like gravel softened by worry. Car trouble. Sophia let out a breath she hadn't realized she'd been holding. Yeah, it just died. Tow truck? 2 hours. He grimaced. On Christmas Eve? Brutal. Mind if I take a look? I'm a mechanic. She blinked. A mechanic? What kind of cosmic coincidence was that? Please. Yes. Thank you. He popped her hood, leaned in with a tiny flashlight from his keychain, and went to work with practiced skill. Snow settled on his shoulders and hair as he worked. Quiet, focused, steady. Within 30 seconds, he said, Alternator shot. I can patch it enough to get you wherever you're heading. The Evergreen Cafe, Sophia said, now officially late and officially annoyed. The mechanic chuckled. Small world. I'm heading there too. Her heart did a weird little flutter she chose to ignore. 15 minutes later, her car coughed back to life, and he stepped away, wiping his hands on a rag. No charge, he said immediately when she reached for her purse. Consider it a Christmas gift. People didn't do things like that. Not in her world. He walked toward the cafe. She followed behind him, and when he held the door for her, God, she actually felt her shoulders relax. Inside, the warmth of twinkling lights, cinnamon candles, and holiday music wrapped around him like a blanket. The owner, Harper, smiled at the man. Jake Morrison? That's me? Your date just arrived, Harper said brightly. Sophia Loren. They both froze. Sophia stared at him. He stared at her. You're Jake? She squeaked. You're Sophia? He shot back. Then together. You're my blind date? Then laughter, big, ridiculous, uncontrollable laughter, echoed between them. They slid into a booth, still smiling like idiots. Jake ran a nervous hand through his hair. My sister didn't show me a picture. She just said your name was Sophia, and to try not to screw it up. Sophia snorted. Mia said the same thing. Minus the last part. Actually, no, she said that too. Harper brought coffee. They both ordered the same thing at the same time. And somehow, that simple moment cracked open the tension between them. Conversation flowed easily, shockingly easily. He told stories about his garage. Customers who thought duct tape was an actual repair solution. The man who used cinnamon gum to hold his transmission together. Sophia laughed so hard her stomach hurt. Jake watched her with a soft smile, like he was memorizing sound. When it was her turn to talk, she told him everything about the investors, the deadlines, the crushing responsibility, the fear that this thing she built from scratch was slipping through her fingers. Jake's face sobered. You're carrying all that alone? He asked gently. She shrugged, trying not to crumble under concern in his eyes. He reached across the table and laid his hand over hers. Warm, steady, quietly reassuring. You'll figure out, he said simply. I can tell. She didn't know why, but she believed him. 2 hours passed in what felt like minutes. When Harper brought the check, Jake grabbed it before she could blink. You can get the next one, he said casually. Sophia raised her brows. Confident there will be a next one? He grinned. Yeah, very. They walked outside into thick falling snow. Her car was covered in frost. That alternator won't survive the night, he said. If you want, I can fix it properly tomorrow. I'll be at the shop anyway. On Christmas? He shrugged. Paperwork. And a break from Elf on repeat. Sophia hesitated, then blurted the question that changed everything. Can I meet Lily? Jake's eyebrows shot up. You wanna? She nodded, cheeks warm. Only if that's okay. A slow, soft smile spread across his face. Tomorrow at 2, she's gonna freak out. And she did. The next afternoon, Sophia climbed the stairs above Morrison's garage, clutching a bag of art supplies. Jake opened the door, smiling wide. Then a little girl in reindeer pajamas sprinted toward her. Daddy, there's a princess at the door. Sophia burst out laughing. Not a princess, just Sophia. Lily stared at her like she descended from Mount Olympus. You're Sophia Loren from a magazine. Daddy, she's famous. Within seconds, she was dragging Sophia inside. The apartment was small, homey, cluttered with love. Paper snowflakes hung from the ceiling. A homemade wreath hung crookedly on the wall. Warmth radiated from every corner. Lily dumped out a box of drawings, dozens of dress designs, surprisingly good ones. You did these? Sophia breathed. Lily nodded proudly. Sophia sat cross-legged on the floor and taught her how to drape fabric using a bedsheet. Within minutes, they were both laughing, creating makeshift gowns from kitchen towels and pillowcases. Jake watched in the doorway, holding mugs of whipped cream berry cocoa, his expression soft. So soft she almost couldn't bear it. You're good with her, he said, handing her a mug. She makes it easy. For a moment, everything felt right. Then Lily asked, Are you Daddy's girlfriend? Chaos, spluttering, panic. But the real blow came next, from an innocent heart. Daddy needs someone nice. He's been sad since Mommy died. Aunt Emma says he needs someone new to love. Jake froze. Emotion shuddered across his face. He excused himself and fled downstairs. Sophia's heart twisted painfully. Lily looked scared. Did I make Daddy sad? No. Sweetheart, Sophia whispered, hugging her tight. He just misses your mommy a lot. But then Lily mentioned the garage, the possible sale, the building being bought by fancy people. Sophia's blood ran cold, because she knew the property. She was a fancy people, and she was about to demolish the only thing Jake had left of the life he built with his wife. Her phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. Board meeting moved to January 10th. Need final decision on Market Street property ASAP. She left the apartment with a trembling voice and a fake excuse. Then she sat in her car, opened the acquisition papers, and faced the unthinkable truth. Save her company, or save the man and child she was falling for. There was no version of reality where she got both. Her throat tight, she texted Marcus. We can't buy it. Marcus called immediately, furious, confused, accusing her of risking 200 jobs for a man she barely knew. He wasn't wrong. Snow hammered the windshield as she drove home, blind with tears. And when Jake texted her, once, twice, then more, she couldn't answer. His last message read, If I did something wrong, I'm sorry. She sobbed, because he hadn't done anything wrong. Mark stood frozen in the center of Eleanor Hawthorne's marble hallway, the storm outside beating against the mansion like a warning drum. The revelation he had just uncovered echoed through his mind like a dropped stone sinking toward a dark lake bottom. He had married a woman everyone whispered about, a woman whose fortune was legendary, but whose past no one dared to discuss. And now he finally understood why. The letter he found in her study, hidden beneath a false drawer, was addressed to a name he had never heard before. My dearest Gabriel. The pages trembled in his hands as he read. The elegant handwriting, aged with time, told a story woven with heartbreak, betrayal, and a secret so heavy it pressed against his chest. Eleanor once had a son who disappeared, a son everyone believed had died. But the letter said otherwise. They took you from me, she wrote. Not because I was unfit, but because I was too wealthy, too powerful, too influential for the men who want to control everything. Mark felt his throat tighten as he read on. Eleanor had spent decades searching for Gabriel in silence, threatened into secrecy. Her enemies were men who still held power, political, financial, even criminal. But the last line of the letter chilled him. I know they are watching again. If anything happens to me, the truth is in the blue box under my bed. Mark snapped out of the daze and ran to her room. The blue metal box was small, locked, and surprisingly heavy. When he pried it open, he sucked in a sharp breath. Inside were photographs of a boy growing up, first grade, 7th birthday, graduation day medical documents, legal threats bearing government seals, a DNA test kit, and a single envelope marked, "Do not open unless you trust him." Before Mark could process any of it, thunder rolled across the sky, and the bedroom door clicked. He turned. Eleanor stood there. Her expression was unreadable at first, neither angry nor surprised, only tired, deeply, painfully tired. You found it, she said softly. Mark opened his mouth, but no words came out. You deserve the truth, she continued. You married me with honesty. I owe you at least that. She sat on the edge of the bed, her frail hands folded neatly, and her eyes glistened beneath the golden lamplight. And then she told him everything, about the son she lost, about the empire her late husband built, and the enemies he made, about the threats that followed her for decades, about the fear that had shaped her every decision. But why marry me? Mark finally whispered. Her smile was sad. Because you were kind without wanting anything from me. Do you know how rare that is at my age and with my money? I wanted someone in my life who wasn't pretending. And I needed, she paused, someone who could protect what truly matters if I'm gone. Mark blinked, confused. Protect what? She pointed at the blue box. Gabriel. He's alive, Mark said. Isn't he? She nodded. And closer than you realize. He nearly dropped the box. But then Eleanor leaned closer and took his trembling hand into hers. Mark, there's something else. Something I did not plan to tell you so soon. Her voice shook. The DNA kit in that box is for you. Mark's heart pounded. For me? Why? She swallowed hard. Because, she took a breath. Your mother's maiden name was Caldwell, wasn't it?